Box 13, with the star of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd, as Dan Holliday.
Box 13, care of Star Times. I know my life is in danger. I think you can help me. I'm desperate and don't dare go to the police. Please, if you want to help, call at the Tivoli Theater box office for the ticket left there. Our handbill will tell you more.
Our handbill will tell you more. Yeah, that's the way it started. The note from the girl, Maria, the theater ticket, and then murder.
And now, back to Box 13.
It was Thursday when I received a letter from Maria through Box 13. Some of the letters I get are from cranks. Some from people who are just curious about a reporter-turned-fiction writer who advertises adventure wanted, will go any place, do anything. But with this one, it was just like Susie said.
Gee, Mr. Holliday, it doesn't look like one of those crank letters or somebody that's just curious, thinks you're crazy or something.
How can you tell, Susie?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just female ignition.
There's a dictionary over there, Susie. Look up ignition.
Don't you know what it means, Mr. Holliday? It's when a woman...
Skip it, Susie, skip it.
Oh, okay.
I'm supposed to pick up a ticket for tonight's show at the Tivoli. Take a look at this handbill. Torino. The Great Torino. Like his look, Susie?
Well, I don't know.
That's what I thought. Okay, Susie, close up shop for the day.
You're going to follow it up, huh?
That's the general idea, yes. I want to see what Maria has on her mind and why she's afraid. This was it. I picked up the ticket at the Tivoli. A big poster told me this was a charity affair with the acts doing a two-night stand. Tickets, $10 a throw. I circled around the lobby, looked at the acts advertised, singers, dancers, a dog act, and then there it was. A big life-size cutout of the Great Torino, complete with mustache and goatee. Nice-looking guy, maybe too smooth-looking, but it was what he was doing that made me take a better look. He held a rifle to his shoulder and was aiming it across the lobby at another cutout. And this one was a girl. Pretty? Big eyes, maybe a little scared-looking, and looking straight across at the Great Torino, and right into the barrel of that rifle pointed at her head. Well, if this was Maria, she had a right to have something on her mind. Anybody who stands up and lets a rifle be fired at her is earning a living the hard way. I was thinking about it when the call buzzer zizzed in my ear. I drifted in with the crowd during the overture and took my seat, first row right on the aisle, easy to get at. An usherette shoved a program in my hands. The Great Torino was scheduled next to closing. Okay, that meant I'd have to sit through the rest of the acts. I did. A little skipping. But the Great Torino was something different. He had two assistants, a girl and a good-looking young guy. It was a magic act with class, and Torino was clever with his hands. He did a trunk effect that was really great, and the girl who helped was the same girl whose cutout was in the lobby. Torino tied her with a rope, slipped a big canvas bag over her, and locked her in a trunk. He fired a shot, and bang, the girl came running down the aisle. And the trunk she was put in, well, empty. All done in a split second, too. The Great Torino took his bow, but I noticed something. When he reached out to take the girl's hand and bow with her, she managed to be busy at something else. Okay. She didn't like him. He gave her a funny look, then walked to a rack and picked up a nice nickel-plated rifle. I sat up in my seat because the girl threw a quick look at me and a tiny nod. No one would have noticed it but me. I looked back at Torino. He was speaking.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to call your attention to my final effect. A most dangerous one. So dangerous that few illusionists will attempt it. the history of the magician's art has recorded several deaths during the feat. My assistant will go into the audience now and select a committee of volunteers who will please come upon the stage. Maria, if you please.
So the girl was Maria. I guess my cue was to be selected as one of the committee. I raised my hand. She picked me. I went on the stage with four others from the audience. Stood there while Torino went to the footlights and spoke again.
Please, the music. No music. Please, no music. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I shall give the gentlemen of the committee this rifle. It may be examined thoroughly. Also, 3 bullets, which they may mark later for identification. Gentlemen, the rifle. And here, the bullets. Please mark the lead in any way you choose, unmistakably.
We took the rifle and the bullets. And the Great Torino, well, he had the audience sitting on the edges of their seats. No one knew exactly what was going to happen, and Torino wasn't going to tell them until the right time came. Then one of the other men on the committee spoke to me and...
Bullets look okay to you?
As good as any bullets can look. 22s, huh?
Yeah. How do we mark them?
Initials?
Yeah, good idea. The 3 of us cut our initials in the lead. That all right with you, mister?
Good. How about the rest of you?
Suits me. I've got a knife here.
Yeah, let me see the rifle.
Yeah, sure, here.
Rifle look okay? No gimmicks?
Well, not that I can see.
All right, my initials are cut in the bullet. You want to cut yours?
Oh, yes. I cut my initials, D.H., in one of the bullets. So we had 3 bullets with initials cut in the lead. No chance for substitution. Then Torino took the rifle and the bullets.
Thank you, gentlemen. Grazie tanto. You are satisfied?
Sure, I am.
Yes.
Good. Now, if you will all watch closely, I shall load the bullets in the rifle. So, and what is your name, sir?
Holiday.
Good. Then, Mr. Holliday, if you will please hold the loaded rifle until I am ready for it.
Oh, sure.
In this way, there can be no trickery. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw me load the marked bullets, yes? So, and you have the loaded rifle. Good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce once more Maria. Maria? The young lady is as courageous as she is lovely. Maria, you will take your place, please. Mr. Holliday, would you care to shoot at Maria?
Oh, no. No, thank you.
Then that leaves it up to me. No. The rifle, please.
Oh, here you are.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall ask for complete quiet. Thank you. Maria, you are ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
The Great Torino walked to the other side of the stage. He raised the rifle to his shoulder, pointed it at Maria. She was pale as death. Her arms were tense, tight. Perspiration stood out on her forehead, and on mine, and on everyone in the audience. Then, so help me, this is what happened. A bullet appeared between Maria's teeth. She let it drop to a plate she held in her hands, then... And 2 more bullets popped between her teeth and fell to the plate. No one in the audience moved. No applause, just that tense feeling. Torino walked over, took the plate. His hands never touched the bullets. I'll swear to it. He walked to me and the other 3 men with me, and...
Gentlemen, you will please to identify the bullets, yes? This one. Initials T.G.
That's me. Yeah, that's mine, all right.
Thank you. And this one, K.R.
Mine.
Thank you. And the third, D.H.
That's mine. How did he do it? I don't know. All I know is that when I walked off the stage, Maria managed to get a note into my hands. When I read it later, it asked me to meet her at a little coffee shop about 3 blocks from the theater. All right, that's what I did. We sat in a booth, back out of the way, and Maria talked.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Holliday.
That's all right, Maria. I saw a great act, but what am I doing in it?
You can help me. Please help me.
How? Doing what?
You can keep Torino from killing me.
More coffee?
Didn't you hear me?
Oh, sure. Sure, but I don't get it.
You saw the act. The rifle trick.
Yeah, it was great.
Then you must see how easy it would be for Torino to kill me while doing it.
Slow up a little, Maria. Let's start from the beginning.
All right. You saw the other assistant.
You mean the good-looking kid?
That's Billy. I love him and he loves me.
Then what's your problem?
Torino. He hates Billy. And he hates me for loving Billy.
Jealous?
Insanely.
Well, quit then.
I will. After tomorrow night's performance.
But why wait if you're afraid?
I won't be afraid if you're there.
What could I do?
Be on the committee again. If I think anything's wrong, I'll signal you.
And then?
Do anything. Drop the rifle, but don't give it back to Torino.
Now, wait a minute. How could he kill you?
He'd claim it was an accident. 3 magicians or their assistants have been killed accidentally doing the trick. The mechanism of the gun goes wrong.
Giving away secrets, Maria?
I have to. There's a mechanism in the breech of the gun. It drops the real bullets down into Torino's hand when he closes the breech.
Oh, then I get an unloaded gun.
There are blanks in it. The mechanism substitutes them for the real bullets.
That's good. And he slips the real bullets to you.
Yes, when he takes my hand to introduce me,
And you slip them into your mouth.
while the audience is watching Torino and the rifle.
I see. Maria,
Yes,
why don't you go to the police?
Torino would know. He'd know.
How?
He watches me.
Then aren't you afraid he's watching now?
No, not tonight. I slipped away. I don't think I could manage it again. Don't you see, Mr. Holliday, you're my only chance. I saw your ad in the paper, box 13.
You mean the police would ask him questions, and he'd lay low until he got the chance to...
Yes. Will you be there tomorrow night, Mr. Holliday? Look, I have a ticket for you here. The same seat. Please. Please.
All right, Maria. I'll be there.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll try to keep the trick from being trumped by the Great Torino.
And now, back to Box 13 with Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Well, it sounded like a great assignment. And from the way the setup looked from where I sat, it gave the Great Torino a perfect chance to kill Maria. I checked on Maria's story about the accidental deaths during the trick, and Jonesy at the Star-Times verified it. A smart cookie like Torino could fake an accident, and who's going to pin the black ribbon on him? Nobody. Okay, it's up to you, Holliday, to figure it out. The next night, I sat in the same seat and watched Torino go through his act. The trunk thing, still great, knocked the audience off their seats. Me, too. Couldn't figure it. But the big stuff was still to come, the rifle trick. I went on the stage, kept my eyes on Maria. I marked one of the bullets again. Oddly enough, Torino didn't seem to recognize me. That was all right with me.
And now, ladies and
Torino went through his same spiel, word for word. I kept my eyes on Maria. But it was though she'd never seen me before in her life. She looked, well, it sounds silly, but she looked hypnotized. Then I heard Torino saying to me,
Mr. Holliday, would you care to shoot at Maria?
"No, thank you." Torino looked at me hard. My name and my face together might have tipped him. There was a funny look in his eyes. I stared at Maria. Not a sign from her.
Maria, you are ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
I relaxed a little. She hadn't given me a sign. Everything was all right, and then
Maria! Maria!
she dropped. Maria dropped. And right between her eyes was a little round hole.
Look, Holliday. Is that straight, that story?
Sure it is, Kling. She was afraid she'd be killed.
But you say she didn't give you a high sign.
No, she didn't even look at me.
But she told you if there was anything wrong, she'd tip you.
Yes, but she didn't tip me.
Okay. Sergeant,
Yes, sir, Lieutenant.
get Torino over here.
Yes, sir. All right, Joe. Lieutenant Kling wants you.
Got any ideas, Holiday?
I'm dry, bone dry, Kling.
What about this guy, Billy, she told you about?
I told you.
I tell you,
Okay.
it was accident. Something she was go wrong. Please.
Quiet. Now
It is
look.
accident. She's wrong accident that happened. You son of, I am an artist. You tell me I do something wrong. No, it is wrong
Holy
with accident.
mackerel.
I've said
Sergeant.
it a million times.
Sergeant.
I have done
Yes,
this
sir.
trick
Put this guy in his dressing room and keep him there till he blows off that head of steam. But watch his door. And the window from outside.
Yes, sir. Come on, Houdini. Come on, get going.
It's funny, Kling.
I'm hysterical, I don't think. What's funny?
The girl, Maria, I don't think she knew me tonight. She looked right at me, didn't give me a tumble.
Yeah? So?
She told me she'd signal me if anything was wrong. I don't get it. But it looks as though she
She what?
deliberately let Torino fire a gun she knew was set to kill her.
That makes great sense.
I know, no sense at all. And besides that,
You're get away with it. You're going to let him tell you it's all an accident. Well, don't believe it. He killed her.
That's Billy.
Kling,
What?
let me ask him a couple of things.
Now, look, Holiday, I'm in charge of this case. You're in on a rain check.
Okay, but I'm in, huh?
Yeah, for the one reason that Maria told you about it, and
He
I...
killed her. It wasn't an accident.
Oh, I better go help the sergeant.
Any objections if I mosey along with you?
None. Just keep your mouth closed, that's all.
Sure. So I listened while Kling asked questions. But there was something knocking at the back of my head, asking to be let in. Something I'd seen, heard, remembered. I didn't know. But what bothered me was Maria not giving me a signal. When she said she'd know if Torino was up to something. Billy answered Kling's questions.
No. All I know is that Torino bluffed Maria. He said he'd kill her if he saw me hanging around her.
Who loads the rifle with blanks?
Maria.
Maria. Did she do it tonight?
She always does it.
I don't believe it.
Maria loaded the rifle herself. She did. Before the performance. So I got an idea. I left the stage where the investigation was going on, and I walked backstage toward the dressing rooms. I wanted to talk to Torino, but there was a large blue cop sitting at the door. He looked at me and...
Well, Holiday,
Oh, hi, Murph.
I feel lousy.
No, that's too bad. Say, think I could talk to Torino?
No.
Oh, now, look, you can watch and listen, tell Kling everything that goes on.
Playing detective, Holiday?
Nope, playing a hunch.
What about?
Why not listen and find out? And if you learn anything, tell Kling. And you might learn something good.
You mean something that might break the case?
Yeah, might.
Oh, well,
What's the matter, Murph? Can't you use a couple of stripes?
Hi, sure. Oh, okay. But I'm standing right here, understand?
Sure.
Right. Hey, you, get up and... Oh, brother, look. Ain't nobody gonna ask him no questions.
No, I don't think he's in any shape to answer.
A promotion, you say? A promotion? I'll be lucky if I ain't fouled up for good. This guy's been knifed right under my nose.
That's right. Somebody stabbed Torino. He was as dead as Maria. And nobody saw anybody go in or out of the dressing room. There was one window. It was open. But the officer outside swore he had his eye on it. Nobody in or out. And nobody in the room but Torino. Well, the knife was in his back, so suicide was out. Kling and his boys turned the room upside down. Torino's apparatus and trunks were shoved around. Still nobody. And it turned out nobody had a motive for killing Torino except Billy.
Me? Me? Are you crazy? I never left the stage. I was talking to you. I was answering questions. I can't be in two places at once, can I?
He was so right. Kling was tearing his hair. Then more questions. The rest of the acts were strangers to Torino. Knew nothing about him. I was thinking about it when something hit me. Something Billy had said. While Kling was still firing questions, I got to a phone. Hello? Oh, hiya, Kenny. Still running that private eye? Swell. Do something for me, will you? Okay. Put a man on the Tivoli Theater right now and get him to tail a guy named Billy. Huh? Here's what he looks like. About 5'9", stocky, light complexion, wearing gray suit.
Good morning, Mr. Holliday.
Hiya, Susie. Any messages?
Uh-huh. The detective agency called.
And what? What's the message?
Oh, I wrote it down in shorthand. Here. Trailed Billy in shoe. No, wait a minute. Ooh, terrible ink. I got it. To insurance company this morning. He placed claim for double indemnity policy for his wife, Maria Baker. Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Holliday. That's not all.
That's enough. I'll see you later, Susie.
Torino.
Step on it, Jonesy.
Oh, you want hard facts, it takes time to find them. Even in the morgue of the Star Times.
Okay, Jonesy, okay, but hurry up, will you?
Here we are. Torino, born Italy.
Skip that. How long's he been in the country?
6 months. Noted magician in Italy and Europe before the war.
Only 6 months. Now, Jonesy, if you were a magician, you wanted assistants. How would you get them?
Advertising a billboard, magazine for show folks. What else?
Where can I see the last 6 months' copies of the billboard?
Right, I got a local office in town. All the copies you want. Hey, where you going?
Thanks, Jonesy. Be seeing you. I've got a lot of reading to do. 6 months' copies of the billboard. I looked through every one of them, and when my eyes were falling out of my head, I saw it. An advertisement. The one I wanted. And the one that tied up with something Billy said. And something I saw during Torino's act. I tried to get Kling on the phone, but no dice. He was out. I left word for him to meet me at the Tivoli, and I went there myself. There was nobody there but the watchman. A $5 bill got me in. Oh, there's no place gloomier than backstage in an empty theater. I headed for Torino's dressing room because I had a good idea how someone got in and stabbed Torino, then disappeared. I opened the door, stepped inside. It was dark. The shade on the window must have been down. I was fumbling for the light switch when somebody pulled the shade on me. Oh!
Got any idea who slugged you, Holliday?
Yeah, Kling, I have.
All right. Who?
Billy, maybe.
No dice. He didn't come near this place. We had a tail on him.
You know about the insurance?
Sure. But he couldn't have killed his wife because she loaded the blanks into the gun.
Uh-huh. And the medical examiner's report on the bullet that killed her? What about that?
22.
No initials on it.
No, none. So it looks like this Maria deliberately planned her own death. It wasn't an accident. If it had been, the bullet in her head would have been marked.
Kling, put out a dragnet.
For who?
For the one who slugged me.
Now cut it, Holliday. If you know anything, spill it before I lose my temper. Who do you want to pick up?
Here's a description. Young woman, about 26.
26.
Brown hair.
Brown hair.
Lovely blue eyes.
Blue eyes.
About 5'2".
5'2".
Worked as a magician's assistant.
Hey, what are you giving me? That's Maria.
Uh-huh, Maria.
She's dead, you dope.
You mean her twin sister's dead, Kling.
Twin sit. What are you talking about?
The trunk effect Torino worked could have only been done with twins. Billy tipped me off on it.
Billy?
Sure, when he said nobody could be in two places at once. And Torino advertised in the billboard for twins.
You aren't dreaming this.
Put out a dragnet for Maria.
Who stabbed Torino?
Maria. She got her twin sister to take her place in the rifle trick last night. That's why I didn't get a signal from her. The sister didn't know me from Adam.
Now, look, Holliday, we searched this dressing room. There was nobody in it when Torino was stabbed.
Maria was here. Look. False back in this cabinet. Good old magician's gimmick. She was here all the while. Maria and Billy took out an insurance policy on her and planned to make me the patsy. Because I'd testify that she told me Torino hated her, that she was scared. Torino was knifed to keep him from spilling about the twins. Billy was in the clear on that. Because he had an alibi when Torino was killed. Okay, Clem?
Okay. We'll put out a dragnet.
And they got her, Mr. Holliday?
Yeah, Susie. They got her.
Gee, sounds just like a story.
Uh-huh.
Only nobody will believe it.
Look, I've got a knot on my forehead to prove it. Well, does that make you hysterical?
No, but I was just thinking.
Don't be reckless, Susie. What about?
I was just thinking, with that bump, you'll have to wear off-the-face hats for a while.
You're a great help. Good night, Susie.
Box 13, with the star of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd, as Dan Holliday.
Hey, look, boss. Look at this. An ad in the Star Times out-of-town newspaper. Yeah.
Box 13, Adventure Wanted. We'll go any place, do anything. Well, this looks like the right answer, Tony.
Yeah.
I think I'll write a letter to Box 13.
The letter was postmarked from a city in Nevada. It came airmail, special delivery to Box 13 and me. It sounded like a great chance to grab a change of scenery and maybe a little fun. Fun? Brother, how wrong could I be?
And now, back to Box 13 and Dan Holliday's newest adventure, Triple Cross.
Just run an advertisement in the Star Times, one that reads, Adventure Wanted, will go any place, do anything, and see what you get. A lot of them can be interesting, like the one I listened to Susie read. The one that came airmail, special delivery from Nevada.
Enclosed is enough money to buy you a plane ticket to Los Meros. You want adventure? All right. Come to Los Meros, register at the Paradise Hotel. Wait in your room until you're contacted.
And that's all it says, Susie?
That's all, Mr. Holliday. There's not even a signature even. It's what's called an ominous letter.
What kind of a letter, Susie?
Ominous. That means it's not signed by anybody.
The word you mean is anonymous.
Oh.
But you could be right after all. Well, Susie, lock up the office and look for me when you see me with a new plot and a nice tan. A new plot and a nice tan, I said. I got the plot, but the tan almost turned into a beautiful white pallor, the kind that goes well with lilies. The plane trip was smooth. The trip from airport to the Paradise Hotel was nice and easy. And the hotel itself, well, it was the only one I could remember that looked like the ads in the travel folders. Oddly enough, there was a room reserved for me in my name. Okay, somebody checked and found out who I was. I explored the suite, thinking maybe I'd get a lead on what this was all about, but it was just a fancy set of rooms, all newly decorated. I sat down, and then about a half hour later... Come in.
Message for you, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, thanks. Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Just a minute. Who gave this to you?
A man, sir.
What kind of a man? What did he look like?
Oh, just a man, sir.
Oh, I see. A head, 2 eyes, nose, 2 ears, and a mouth. That his description?
Yes, sir, that's exactly what he looked like.
Good. Then I'll know him when I see him. Oh, did he ask for an answer?
No, sir, he just told me to bring the envelope to you. Will that be all, sir?
Oh, yes, thanks. Well, 2 $100 bills. And a message that said, buy a red carnation in the flower shop and put it in your lapel. After dinner, go to the casino roulette table, buy $200 in chips and put them on number 18. If you win, walk away, wait 10 minutes, and put half the winnings on number 22. After you play, wait in the casino.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Place
So, with a carnation in my lapel, I bought $200 in chips and walked to the roulette table. There weren't many players. It was a little too early for the big crowd. So I waited a minute and watched the play. Took a look at the croupier, but I might as well have been in Timbuktu. He didn't give me a tumble. Okay, the best way to see what was going to happen was to see. I shoved the whole 200 on number 18. One or two of the other players placed bets, and then...
No more bets, please. No more bets. Number 18, red and even. Your chip, sir.
The croupier shoved the winnings across to me. I watched his face. If he had any expression, it was on the soles of his shoes. Well, maybe $7,000 win was common around here. I left the table, sat down, and did a little problem in arithmetic, which figured out to be $126,000. That's what I'd have if number 22 came up. And, brother, it looked from where I sat as though it would. The 10 minutes went by, and I walked back to the table. Waited until the wheel stopped.
Number 16, red and even. Place your bets, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Slowly, I shoved 3,500 in chips to number 22. This time, the others around the wheel did look. 3,500 at 35 to 1. When the wheel began to slow up.
No more bets, ladies and gentlemen. No more bets, please.
That croupier was as cold as the floor of a mausoleum. Somebody dropped a pin, and I heard it hit the floor. The white ball clicked, clicked its way until...
Number 22, black and even. Your chip, sir.
I cashed in the chips, and there I sat, with $126,000 tucked away in my inside coat pocket. Somebody had that wheel fixed for a killing. I began to wish I was back in my office. I didn't like it. A crooked play. Why? Who? I made up my mind to go to the owner of the place and wash my hands of the whole thing when...
Oh, there you are, Mr. Holliday. I've been looking for you. I have a message for you.
Yeah?
Well, it's verbal this time, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, what is it?
You're to go into the bar and wait.
Is that all?
Yes, sir.
The same man gave you this message?
Yes, sir.
Did he still have a head, 2 eyes, a nose, and 2 ears?
Yes, sir.
All right, here you are, kid.
Oh, thank you.
You know, if this keeps up much longer, you'll be able to retire on my tips alone.
Thank you, Mr. Holliday. Will that be all?
How much did this character give you to forget what he looked like?
Oh, nothing, sir. Nothing at all.
And a smart boy like you should have taken a good look the second time.
Huh?
Especially since I asked about him after the first message.
Oh, he was big, dark, a little mustache, and he had a little white scar over his right eye.
Will you take $5 for that information?
That's all right, Mr. Holliday. No charge for that service.
Good boy. I'll see you later.
Yes, sir, Mr. Holliday.
I walked toward the bar, wondering what was coming next. I didn't like that fortune burning the cloth in my pocket. The bar was like my suite. Fancy, rich, and expensive. I climbed up on one of the stools, and the bartender came over and...
Yes, sir. May I serve you, sir?
Got any ginger ale?
Yes, sir. What with, sir?
Oh, by itself. Just a glass of ginger ale.
Just a ginger ale?
Uh-huh. You see, I like the bubbles.
Champagne has bubbles, too.
But they're still around the next day. Just a ginger ale.
Yes, sir, of course.
Excuse me, is someone sitting here?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Thank you.
Here you are, sir. Ginger ale.
Thanks.
The usual, please.
Okay. Yes, sir, may I, sir?
You got a light?
Of course.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Here you are.
Thanks. Why do you drink ginger ale?
I like it. Why do you drink martinis?
Same reason, I guess. It's a brilliant conversation, isn't it?
Well, I've heard better.
You're not very friendly, are you?
A Boy Scout is always friendly.
And does good turns. So I hear.
Do you want to be helped across the street?
All right, I'll shut up.
I took a good look at her. There was something scared-looking about her. She was nervous. Well, so was I, because the minutes were passing and I still had that money. And I wanted to get rid of it. But I wondered about the girl, whether she had any part in this. I watched her out of the corner of my eye. She picked up her bag, reached for a lipstick, and then...
Oh, clumsy.
So it's true what they say about women's handbags. You get the stuff on the bar, I'll pick up the kitchen sink off the floor.
I'm so sorry. Did the powder spill on you?
No, it's all right. Yeah. Here you are.
The mirror didn't break, did it?
Nope, you're still good for 7 years more.
Thanks. Thanks ever so much.
I told you I was a good Boy Scout.
You have a nice smile.
Want a toothpaste commercial to go with it?
Now, don't be nasty.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just as nervous as you are.
Let's talk about something else.
She chattered away, and
It really is
I
a
listened with
lovely
half an
place,
ear.
isn't it?
Once in a while, threw in a yes or a no. And the clouds began to gather. The mirror at the back of the bar went back and forth. The people got bigger, then shrank to midgets. Somebody drove a plane through my head. It buzzed around and made a bad landing on my brain, then...
There you are. Feeling better now? You'll be all right. Just lie there, take it easy.
Sure, Hey, I'm in my room.
Of course. We brought you here.
We?
I'm the hotel physician, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, what happened?
Just a fainting spell, nothing serious.
Fainting spell? What are you talking about?
Fainting spells. Your wife told me you get them.
My what told you what?
No. Just lie back.
Whose wife said what?
Your wife. She's gone to have a prescription filled.
Now, listen, Doc, Hand me my coat, will you?
It's better if you lie here.
It's better if you hand me my coat. Give it to me.
Oh, very well. There you are. What's the matter?
Was my wife in this room?
Of course, she came up with me.
Uh-huh. Doc, what would you do with $126,000?
What? 100? That's an odd question. What would you do with it?
I don't know. Because I haven't got it anymore.
Now, back to Triple Cross, another Box 13 adventure with Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
So there I was, $126,000 in the red. If it was meant to be taken from me, then somebody was working it the hard way. Sure, the girl slipped something in my ginger ale when I picked up the stuff that fell out of her handbag. She took the money. All right, I wanted no more of it. I was going to head for the nearest exit, running, not walking, when... Come in.
You Holiday?
Yeah. Do I know you?
Call me Tony. I'm the guy who wrote the Box 13.
Oh. All right, goodbye, Tony.
Sit down.
What's the idea?
Funny, I was going to ask you that.
If we're playing 20 questions, let's skip the other 18, Tony.
I got a big one left. Where's the dough?
You tell me.
Give it to me.
Well, I didn't like him. I didn't like the gun he was playing with either. And I didn't like the little white scar over his right eye or the little black mustache. I was willing right then and there to cross him off my friendship list. But I told him what happened.
It's a great story. Ain't heard one like it since I read fairy tales.
Well, I don't care if you believe it or not.
You got no regard for your health, Holiday.
Look, Tony, I'm leaving this place
You'll
now.
be too heavy to carry out if you take one more step. That's better. Now, what kind of a frame is this?
Once more, you tell me. I played a crooked wheel downstairs. I don't like that.
You got adventure, didn't you?
I don't want anything that's crooked.
Look who's talking. Who was the girl?
Believe it or not, I never saw her before.
What did she look like?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ever try to take a good look at anyone in that bar downstairs? It's too dark to even see a lighted match.
You're smart, Holiday. The game with the girl is neat. Awful neat. You get the dough, play doggo. Act like the girl slipped you Mickey. Later she turns up with the dough and you two split.
Now talk sense, Tony. I didn't know why I came to Los Morris in the first place. I didn't know how I was going to get that money. How would I have time to dream up that frame with the girl?
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought of that. Okay, Holiday, maybe you're telling it straight.
Okay. Now can I go?
No. You get that money back first, then you can go.
I don't think I'll stay for the ninth inning, Tony.
The game has not started yet, Bud. You get that dough.
How?
That's your problem, but get it.
Look, Tony, I'm backing out of this. You know I can go to the sheriff.
Oh, no, you won't. Because there'll be a tail on you from now on out. One move like you're going to the law. Understand?
Okay. Okay, I get it.
And there'll be somebody in this room to see that you don't use the phone. You'll be covered like a pool table, Holiday.
What if I can't find the girl? What if I can't get the money back?
The boss will be awful mad.
And?
There are worse places than Los Moros to spend a lifetime. If you live.
Ever have one of those dreams in which you try to run away from something and can't? Well, this one, with my eyes wide open, was really something. Tony and I went downstairs. Two other characters detached themselves from chairs when Tony nodded at them. Brother, I was covered. It looked hopeless. With Tony not far behind, I asked the doctor if he'd ever seen the girl who said she was my wife. Well, there was no dice there. Then I remembered something. I told Tony I was going back into the bar.
Bar? What for?
Now, look, Tony. Let me do it my way. I'm the one that's on the spot, so let me play it the way I want.
Okay. I'll watch. And don't try for a quick steal, because the boys outside know who to look for. Go ahead.
Thanks. What would I do without you, Tony?
I don't know. Because you're not going to be without me. Remember, I'll be watching.
Yes, sir. May I serve you? Well, feeling better, sir?
Well, much. Where were you when I fainted?
At the other end of the bar, sir.
Oh, yeah. So you were.
It wasn't our ginger ale, sir.
No, it wasn't. I just have a loose head, and when I shake it, it comes off.
May I serve you something, sir?
Yes. An answer to a question.
Well, what's that, sir?
Who was the girl who sat down next to me?
I don't know, sir.
Oh, yes, you do.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Quit the sir business. You knew that girl.
Why do you say that?
Because when she sat down, she asked for the usual, and you brought her a martini. And you said okay when she asked you.
What does that prove?
The martini proves you knew who she was. The okay means she wasn't a guest of the hotel. No bartender as polite as you are would say okay to a lady guest. That makes sense?
Why do you want to know who she is?
Does that make any difference?
Yeah, because I wouldn't want to see her in trouble.
I'll try to keep her out of it.
I won't tell you.
Ever see a picture of Alexander Hamilton?
What are you talking about?
Well, here's one. And funny enough, it's on a $10 bill. In fact, his picture's on all 5 of these bills.
Yeah. Her name's Kathy Lee. I think she has a place at the Las Palmas courts.
Thanks. Put these pictures in frames, will you? I found the Las Palmas courts. And, of course, Tony behind me all the way. The name list in front said Kathy Lee lived in number 8. I looked around before I turned in the walk. Yeah, Tony was closer to me than varnish on a tabletop. I found number 8 and stopped for a second. Looked for a phone line, but there wasn't any. I knocked at the door. No answer. I tried it again. Then I heard Tony whisper from the shadows.
Try the door, Holiday.
I did. It was unlocked. Tony coached from the sidelines.
Go on in.
I went in and closed the door behind me. It was dark. I decided to risk a call. Kathy? Kathy? Kathy Lee? She wasn't there. I fumbled my way to what felt like a dresser and a lamp. Turned it on, and what I saw made me turn that light off fast.
What's the matter?
She's dead.
What are you talking about?
You heard me. She's dead.
You sure?
Well, go in and look.
You go back in and look for that dope. Go on.
Now, look, Tony, I don't know any more of this. That poor kid's dead. Murdered. I want you to call the sheriff.
No, you don't. I said you go back in there and look for that dough.
You look for it.
Leave my fingerprints all over the place. Now you go back in there and hunt.
Don't be a sap. Whoever killed her took the money. Don't you see that?
Maybe. But we'll play this angle all the way. Now stop talking and get in there.
I hated to turn on that light, but I had to. I didn't look at her. I looked through the room. Then I found something. A plane ticket to San Francisco, leaving that night, and a boat ticket for South America. They were in an envelope, but the information on the envelope said there would be 2 reservations. I put it back where I found it because I didn't want Tony to find it on me. And there was something else. A locket with a man's picture in it. I took it off his chain and shoved it in my pocket, then I left.
Well, Halliday?
It's not there. I told you it wouldn't be.
Stand still. Back toward me.
A frisk, Tony? You don't trust me, do you?
Shut up.
No, I told you.
Who killed her?
Find that out and you'll know where the money went.
Come on.
What's so funny?
Halliday, right now I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
Tony was right. People at the casino saw me win that money, and somebody must have seen the girl with me. Then I got the Mickey. The money was taken, the girl killed. Who did it? Me, Dan Holliday. Because the girl clipped me for the money. Well, this was a beautiful frame. Any art gallery in the country would be proud to hang it. But I knew something Tony didn't. The plane and boat tickets. 2 seats. One for Kathy and her murderer. Somebody who left her tickets in her bungalow to make it look as though she was in on the $100,000 job by herself. Sure. Now her killer was taking a plane. In 1 hour. In a boat to South America. I could have told Tony, but I wanted to wrap it up myself. Besides, I wanted to get the whole thing to the law. On the way back to the hotel, I figured something out for myself. But I'd have to see the boss of the casino, and I thought I knew how to do that without Tony tagging along. The casino was full. I stopped. Tony stopped.
What's the idea? What now?
I've got to think.
Up to your room.
No.
You want to get hurt?
Sure, go ahead. Shoot me. Now. In front of all these people. You know, Tony, you wouldn't get 10 feet.
Smart, ain't you? Okay, what's now?
I'm going to play blackjack.
What?
Want to watch? I sat at the blackjack table. I had as much interest in the game as Aunt Mamie back in Iowa, who never saw a deck of cards in her life. But I had an idea, and I played it for all it was worth. Look, dealer,
Yes?
I didn't like that last deal.
I beg your pardon, sir.
I said I didn't like that last deal.
Well, we'll return your money, sir.
Never mind the money. Who runs this place?
is that guy trying to put on over there?
It worked. In 3 seconds, I was surrounded by muscle boys, and Tony was hotter than a New York sidewalk in August. But he couldn't touch me. A minute later, I sat across the table from the owner of the casino. I told him what happened, and when I finished, he stared at me and said,
You're trying to tell me somebody let you win that money at my wheel?
I am?
You're crazy. The wheel's straight.
But you know I won that money.
Sure I do. Any time $100,000 slides across, I know it. But,
But this time it was fixed. The croupier was tipped I was to win.
Wait a minute. Marty, send Frankie up here right away. Huh? Oh. Okay, forget it.
What's the matter?
Frankie, the croupier, went off duty just after you won. He's not back yet.
And he won't come back. Now, somebody planned to take the house this evening for that money. Somebody who couldn't risk getting it himself. So I'm the logical one. No one knows me here. I'd look like just another player. Later, Mr. Fix-It plans to pick up the money and beat it. Who? Someone besides yourself who could get to the croupier and bribe him to fix the wheel. Got any ideas?
Yeah. One. My partner.
Well, that's it, then. It's got to be.
But the girl, she doped you. That was a hard way to get the money from you.
Listen, I've got an idea, but I'm a little cramped for room. Some of your partner's boys, particularly a guy named Tony, are glued to me. Get some of your boys to shake them off, and I'll bring that money back to you.
How do you know where it is?
I know.
Okay, Holiday. But remember, fast play, and I'll find you if it takes the rest of my life.
It's a deal. Now, how about the boys?
They won't follow you. Marty, that guy will leave my office. Some mugs are tailing him. Stop him. Got it? Good. All right, Holiday. You're on first base. Go ahead.
I was sure he'd be at the airport, and I wasn't wrong. He was sitting in the shadows on the outside. I walked over to him, and he looked up.
Holiday, I thought you would be...
Thought I'd be framed, huh, Frankie?
What are you doing here?
I've got a message from Kathy Lee.
Kathy? She's...
You ought to know you killed her.
Ah, you're crazy.
Not only that, you've got $126,000 in that bag. $126,000 that looked like easy money.
Shut up.
That money doesn't mean a thing. It's the girl who counts, the girl who was willing to do what you told her to do. The girl you triple-crossed and killed after you double-crossed your boss who bribed you to fix the wheel.
It's too bad you're so smart, Holiday.
It's too bad you led with that right, Frankie. Somebody call the police to come and clean this up.
The croupier was... Oh, please hurry, Mr. Holliday. I want to hear the ending.
All right, Susie, all right. What do you want to know?
Well, how did you guess that Kathy Lee was the croupier's girl?
Well, her locket had his picture in it.
Oh, they should have given you the money as a reward.
No, thanks, Susie. They can have it.
But there's one thing I don't understand, Mr. Holliday.
And that's?
You didn't get a tan at all. You're just as pale as when you left.
Oh, $126,000. A murder and a tan, too, she wants. Good night, Susie.
Box 13, with the star of Paramount Pictures, Alan Ladd, as Dan Holliday.
To Box 13, care of the Star Times. I am desperately in danger, I'm sure. I'm afraid to go to the police right now. So if you'll really go anyplace and do anything like your ad says.
If you really go any place and do anything like your ad says, please meet me tomorrow at 6 in the evening at the corner of Gateway and Lakeview Boulevards. Constance McLean. You didn't know it then, but this was one time, Holiday, you had your work cut out for you.
And now, back to Box 13 and Dan Holliday's newest adventure.
I guess I was asking for it when I put that ad in the Star Times. But I wasn't asking for what happened this time, and I don't want it again. You see, it was... Well, might as well start from the beginning, and Susie saying...
Constance McLean. That's a pretty name, Mr. Holliday.
Well, what do you make of the letter, Susie?
Make of it? Well, what do you mean?
Well, take this line. I'm desperately in danger, I'm sure.
What about it?
Oh, no, it sounds like something from an old melodrama.
But it's thrilling. Maybe she is desperately in danger, Mr. Holliday. Why don't you find out?
You think I should, huh?
Sure. You'll be just like one of the old knight irritants.
Knights errant, Susie.
What's the difference? They both hunted for trouble, didn't they?
Well, what's good enough for a knight errant is good enough for me. I'm sorry I can't oblige you by dashing off on a white charger and wearing a tin suit. But so long anyway, Susie. The intersection of Gateway and Lakeview Boulevards was in the fashionable suburb of the city. The kind of a neighborhood where money is the root of the most important family trees. I looked at my watch. It was 6 exactly. Then I heard someone coming. I waited. It was about dark. The shadows of the trees kept me from seeing who it was whispering. But a couple of seconds later...
Hello?
Oh, good evening. You're, Constance McLean?
Oh, no. No, my name's Barbara Rodney. Constance is over there.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm Box 13.
Uh-huh.
Well, what's the matter?
You're different.
From what?
From what we thought.
You mean to tell me you got me all the way out here to see what I look like?
Oh, no, not at all, Mr. 13. I mean, well, what is your name?
Dan Holliday.
Oh, that's nice. Wait a minute. Come on, honey. Kind of scared. Oh, come on. He's right up here. Mr. Holliday, this is Constance. Connie?
How do you do?
How are you? She stared at me, and I stared back. She was about 17. Not pretty, but kind of a hungry face and eyes. I smiled at her, and she smiled back.
It's awfully nice of you to come, Mr. Holliday.
Well, not at all. I think anyone would come on the strength of your letter, Connie.
Can we go someplace and talk? I mean, we can't stand here on the corner, can we?
We could, but sitting would be better. What do you suggest?
How about Smudgy Mary's?
I beg your pardon?
Well, Connie means Smudgy Mary's place.
Oh, I thought for a moment you said Smudgy Mary's.
We can sit down there. They have tables, and we can talk. I've got to talk to you, Mr. Holliday.
Just a minute, Connie. What kind of a place is this Smudgy Mary's?
It's nice.
They serve ice cream and sundaes and malts.
Oh, well, swell. Let's go. Is it within walking distance, or do we go in my car?
Well, we can walk, can't we, Connie?
Well, if you think it's safe for me.
Safe? What's the matter?
We'll go in your car, Mr. Holliday.
On the way to Smudgy Mary's, I tried to draw Connie out, but she was determined to wait until we got to that paradise of ice cream and malts. The two kids chattered away, and I gathered they both went to a fashionable and ultra finishing school in the neighborhood. Then I found myself in Smudgy Mary's. Kids were all over. Nice-looking kids. And the usual jukebox. Connie and Barbara guided me to a table in the back, and we sat down.
What'll you have, Mr. Holliday?
What's the specialty of Smudgy Mary's?
You want one?
If you do, Connie.
No, I don't think so. Just a lemonade.
Barbara?
A double malt with chocolate ice cream and whipped cream on top. I'll go over and tell Mary. We call her Smudgy because she's always got a smudge on her nose. I'll be right back.
All right, Connie. Want to talk now?
Here, you read this.
She took a crumpled piece of paper from her handbag, shoved it across the table to me. I opened it. There was a message that read, "If you don't get $1,000 from your parents, they'll never see you again." The letters were cut from magazine and newspaper print. I read it twice, then asked, "How did you get this, Connie?"
It came to the school for me.
When?
Yesterday, just before I wrote the letter to you, Mr. Holliday.
Who knows about this?
Just Barbara. She's my best friend. And how are you?
All right, Connie. As soon as we leave here, we're going to the police.
Oh, no, please. Please, Mr. Holliday, we mustn't.
Why not?
Oh, if I did, well, Mother would have to know.
Don't you think she should?
No, she mustn't.
Why not?
Well, she isn't well, Mr. Holliday. With something like this, it'd make her worse.
But this is very serious, Connie.
Then you help me.
Now, look, Connie. You're not helping other girls who may be in your position someday. Let the person who wrote this get away with it this time, and you'll try it again.
Mr. Holliday, if you go to the police, I'll kill myself.
I stared hard at her. Her face was more hungry than ever, and her eyes were scared. Then Barbara came back with the orders.
Well, here we are. I brought you a specialty, Mr. Holliday.
Thanks, Barbara.
Babs, Mr. Holliday wants to go to the police.
Sit down, Barbara.
Yes, sir.
Now, Connie, have you anything else to tell me?
Today someone called me on the phone. It was a man's voice. He said, I should have the money by the day after tomorrow, or I'd be sorry.
That's right, Mr. Holliday. I was there when the man called.
Did you recognize his voice, Connie?
No, I never heard it before, I'm sure. It had kind of an accent.
Do you know anyone that speaks like that?
No, I said I didn't recognize him.
Where are your father and mother?
They're away.
Where?
In Michigan.
For how long?
They'll be gone about 2 months.
I see. This man said you'd have to get the money by the day after tomorrow, is that right?
Yes. Well, Mr. Holliday, I'm scared.
Why are you afraid to go to the police, Connie?
I'm afraid what will happen if I do.
To you?
Yes, to me.
Yes, she was scared, all right. She didn't touch a lemonade, and I couldn't touch the specialty of the house. You see, I wanted to be alive the next day. A little while later, we left Smudgy Mary's. We didn't say much. Connie, because she was scared. Barbara because she was scared. And I? Because, well, I had an idea. It was after 8 when we pulled up in front of the school where they lived in the dormitory. Connie and Barbara got out of the car.
What should I do, Mr. Holliday?
You sure that man said day after tomorrow?
Oh, yes, I know he did.
All right, Connie, I'll do what I can.
You'll help her, Mr. Holliday?
Of course I will, Barbara. Now, you two run along. I'll wait till you get inside. Go on now.
I don't know how to thank you.
Don't try. Just take it easy and don't worry.
All right. Good night, Mr. Holliday.
Good night, Connie. Barbara.
Good night.
I watched them until they went in. I was about to close the car door and drive away when...
Holliday! Oh, Mr. Holliday!
That was Connie. It didn't take long to cover the distance to the dormitory entrance. Connie! Barbara!
Mr. Holliday! Look, it was under my door. This.
Another letter. Give it to me quick.
Oh, here comes Miss Ogilvy. She's headmistress. Oh,
Please, Mr. Holliday, don't show her that letter. Please, don't tell.
I don't know why I stuck that letter in my pocket. Maybe it was Connie's face. Absolute terror on it. But I rammed the letter in my pocket just as...
And what does this mean?
Please, Miss Ogilvy.
And, sir, who are you?
She looked at me, and I remembered my 5th grade school teacher. The one who didn't like me. I looked at Connie. There was a desperate, please don't tell look on her face. Barbara was as white as a sheet. I decided to be hung for a sheep as well as a lamb, Miss Ogilvy repeated.
Well, sir, if you please. Girls, into your rooms.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm waiting, sir.
I'm in the wrong house.
Really? And for which house were you looking?
The Smiths.
Really? Where do they live?
Not here, I guess.
I hope you have an explanation.
Well, I'm afraid I don't. All right, I'm waiting for a streetcar. Will that do?
May I have your name?
If you just forget all about this, I'll go quietly home and lie down for a while.
I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to stay.
That's very kind of you, Miss Ogilvy, but I have a previous engagement.
If you try to leave, I shall ring the alarm, and the caretakers will stop you.
All right. What do you want me to do?
Nothing. But I'm going to call the police.
All right, Holliday. All right. You were in the wrong house. Why?
I told you, Kling, I made a mistake.
Couldn't you tell a girls' school from a private home? Besides, there's no one in the neighborhood named Smith.
How do you like that? 3,000 Smiths in that phone directory, and I picked the wrong neighborhood.
You should have worn a ribbon in your hair, but nobody would have noticed you.
Thanks, dear. You're pretty, too.
Listen, Miss Ogilvy preferred charges, trespassing, and a dozen other counts. She can make them stick.
Kling, what if I said I had a good reason for being there, but I couldn't tell what it was? What would you say?
The same thing I said 2 hours ago. Why?
I can't tell you, I promised.
All right, you'll spend the night in the jug.
Unless I put up bail, which I'll do. I could have told Kling, but I kept thinking about Connie. Maybe I believed her when she said she'd kill herself if I told the police. Anyway, I kept the whole thing to myself. The next morning, I went over the second letter she'd received. It read, "You have one more day to get the money from your parents." One more day. That meant today, and that was all. I did a lot of thinking, and it added up to something very, very strange. I was thinking about it when the phone rang, and Susie answered it.
Hello? Yes, just a minute. Mr. Holliday, Lieutenant Kling wants to talk to you.
Oh? Okay, Susie, thanks. Hello? Yeah? What? When did you hear that? Okay, I'll be right over.
Mr. Holliday, what's the matter? You look scared.
I am, Susie. Maybe I've made a mistake. Connie McLean's disappeared.
Now back to Damsel in Distress, another Box 13 adventure with Alan Ladd as Dan Holliday.
Kling and I drove out to the school. He pondered at me to find out what I knew. I told him about the letter then. I had to. He was mad. I guess he had a right to be. At the school, we sat across from Miss Ogilvy and Barbara Rodney.
All right, Miss Ogilvy. Let's hear what happened.
Barbara, please tell us what you know.
Well, I woke up this morning. Connie and I have the same room.
We know that, Barbara.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I looked across to Connie's bed. She wasn't there.
What time was this, Barbara?
When I woke up, about 7:30.
And you looked everywhere for her?
Oh, yes, Miss Ogilvy.
What makes you think Connie disappeared?
Constance has never been tardy for a class, Mr. Holliday. And I might ask what you know about this. Your actions last night
Barbara,
were
will
not...
you leave, please? I'll talk to you later.
Hey, Holliday, what's the idea?
Please, Kling, I want to learn something.
Is it all right, Miss Ogilvy?
I suppose so.
I'll be in my room.
Now, Mr. Holliday?
Kling, tiptoe to the door. See if she's there.
Huh?
Please.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going. I'll be in my room.
Well, that's strange. I never suspected Barbara would do a thing like that.
What's on your so-called mind, Holliday?
Some questions? Miss Ogilvy, do you know if Connie had many dates?
Dates?
Yes. Parties, dances.
No, she didn't. Why?
How about Barbara?
Yes,
They're very close to each other, aren't they?
inseparable. But what is this leading to?
I don't know yet. Now about Connie's mother and father.
Yes?
Do they come to see her often?
Not very. They do a great deal of traveling.
Uh-huh. Thanks, Miss Ogilvy.
Now, Holliday, you through playing games?
No, not yet. Miss Ogilvy, isn't there some sort of dance coming up soon? I think I saw a notice on the bulletin board as I came through.
Yes, next week. But really, I don't see how questions like these are going to find Constance.
Oh, Kling.
Yeah? What now? You going to ask me to the dance?
Look, Kling, I'll get Connie back here, and no one will know anything's happened if Miss Ogilvy will agree not to press the charges against me for last night.
What?
Miss Ogilvy, you know it wouldn't be good for the school if this got in the papers, would it?
Not at all.
Oh, great. The poor kid's disappeared. She got those letters, and you're worrying about the school.
The letters gave her until tomorrow to get the money. All right, I've got all day. But I want to do this my way. Believe me, it's for Connie's sake. Well?
Very well. I agree.
All right with you, Kling?
Oh, it has to be.
Good. If I'm not back in 12 hours, bury me anyway. I was playing a hunch all the way to the finish line. If it worked, okay. If it didn't, then Dan Holliday was cooked like a hot dog at a barbecue. I had a couple of stops to make. The first one was at the Star-Times. There I asked Mona, the society editor, a few questions.
The McLeans? Are they the ones, Dan?
Uh-huh. They got a daughter, Constance.
That's right. And 100 million or so.
Where are they now?
I can't tell offhand, but wait a minute. Back file should tell. The Riviera, not here. Nice, not here. Monte Carlo, not here.
Mona, please drop the opera glasses and get to the McLeans.
All right, Danny boy. Let's see. Here we are. Mr. and Mrs. Randolph McLean have left for an extended vacation in Florida.
Florida? You sure that's not Michigan?
Well, if it is, the Florida Chamber of Commerce is going to be awful mad.
Did they return yet?
No.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure. That's my job here, remember?
Okay, Mona, thanks. I'll remember you at Christmas.
Once a year is all I ask. So long.
There was another stop to make. And strange as it may seem, it was to see a psychiatrist. Well, what he told me checked, but good. Then I made one more visit, this time to a telegraph office. I sent a wire to Connie's parents to charter a plane and come home at once. When that was done, I was all set except for one more little item. A long talk with Barbara. I got Miss Ogilvy's permission to take Barbara for a drive in my car.
But, Mr. Holliday, why do you want to talk to me?
Oh, maybe I just like to, Barbara.
Where are we going?
Is Smudgy Mary's open in the afternoon now?
Yes.
Okay. Let's you and I drop in for a lemonade or a malt. How about it?
Well, I've really got to get back to school.
Miss Ogilvy said it was all right for you to come with me.
Oh.
You didn't hear Connie leave the room this morning, did you?
No, I didn't.
And you're sure you looked all over for her?
Oh, yes, everywhere.
Uh-huh. Well, here's Smudgy Mary's. You know, Barbara, a diet like this will ruin my health. But come on.
All right.
Well, practically deserted. Is that Smudgy Mary?
Yes, that's she.
Mm-hmm. 2 specials, Mary, please.
Oh, really, Mr. Holliday, I don't think I can eat
Let's
any
try
more.
the jukebox. Any particular number you'd like?
No. Anyone's all right.
Okay. Come on, we'll take this table over here.
What do you want to talk about?
Connie,
What about her?
come on, Barbara. Why don't you tell me where she is?
Well, because I don't know. I'll bet she's been kidnapped. Those awful letters. They said that if
Those
she...
letters wouldn't have fooled a baby, Barbara. No kidnapper's going to ask for $1,000, not when the parents are worth millions.
Well, maybe he was scared.
Could be. But that second letter under the door last night, the kidnapper put it there?
Well, he must have.
Mm-hmm. Well, how did he get in?
Well, I guess he sneaked in.
Barbara, no kidnapper goes around in brightly lighted halls shoving threatening letters under doors.
I don't know where she is.
Barbara, please tell me.
You won't tell anyone, will you, Mr. Holliday, please?
I'm afraid I'll have to, Barbara. But maybe everything will come out all right. Now we'll save those Smudgy Mary specials until later. Right now, we're going to pick up Connie. How about it?
All right, Mr. Holliday.
Barbara and I drove out into the country and up where the lake sits in the hills. There were a lot of cabins around. Barbara directed me to one, and I stopped the car. This it, Barbara?
Yes.
You wait here. I walked up the path, up the porch stairs. Tried the door. It was unlocked.
Who? Mr. Holliday.
Hello, Connie. How are you? It's all right now, Connie. It's all right. Come on. We'll get back to town. Sure, everything was all right. I drove the 2 girls back into town. They didn't say a word. I dropped them at the school and then had a long talk with Miss Ogilvy. It was later that night when Lieutenant Kling and I walked into the McLean home. Mr. and Mrs. McLean had called from the airport. They said they'd be home in a few minutes. Connie and Barbara were upstairs. Miss Ogilvy, Kling, and I sat in the big living room.
All right, Holliday. How about the plot? Going to get with it?
I think we'll wait for the McLeans, huh?
There won't be anything in the papers, will there?
That depends on Lieutenant Kling, Miss Ogilvy.
Why me? Listen, I still don't know who pulled the snatch.
Kling?
Oh, I beg your pardon, Miss Ogilvy. What I mean
By
is...
snatch, you mean kidnapping.
Yeah, that's right. You talk English.
Oh, that'll be the McLeans. Miss Ogilvy, would you mind getting the girls down here?
Certainly, Mr. Holliday.
Connie,
Where's my daughter? Where is she?
Mr. McLean, my name is Holliday. I sent you and your wife that wire this morning.
Where is she? Is she all right?
Yeah, she's all right. She's coming down to...
Connie. Oh, darling. Oh, darling,
Oh,
it's so
Mr.
good to
Holliday,
see
we're
you.
so
I was
grateful.
worried. Let me
I
look
can't
at
tell you how much.
Uh-huh, well, we'll see. Connie,
Yes, Mr. Holliday.
would you and Barbara wait outside? We'll only be a minute in here.
Yes, sir. Come on, Barbara.
Who did it? Who kidnapped her?
You did. You and your wife.
What?
Mr. Holliday.
What are you talking about?
You're insane.
No, I'm not. Now, listen to me. You have a daughter, but no one would ever know it. How often do you see her?
Now, see here, Mr. Holliday.
About once a year, you put her in a school and forget about her. Except when you think something's happened.
Holliday, you can't talk to me
I'm not
like
finished, Mr. McLean. That kid's lonely. And because she's, well, maybe you call it plain, she doesn't go out very much. Not many dates.
I don't see what this is all about.
You see, I talked with a psychiatrist today. Used a lot of fancy words, but they boil down to this. Connie wants and needs attention and affection desperately. She didn't get them here, so she thought of this scheme. Pretend to be kidnapped, get attention called to herself. Then she'd come back with a story. She'd be in the limelight. And Barbara helped her because she's her best friend.
Now, wait a minute, Holliday. We'd have torn holes in her story. She wouldn't have gotten away with it.
I know, that's why I didn't tell you right away. That's why I wanted to handle it my way. If this had gone to the police, the whole thing would have blown up for Connie. There'd have been a newspaper story, ridicule for the girl. But this way, well, Let's give Connie a break. And Barbara. How about it, Kling?
Sure, I'm willing.
Oh, thanks, Kling. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
I'm a soft-hearted cop.
Mr. Holliday.
Yes, Mr. McLean?
I guess my wife and I didn't realize how selfish we really were. We thought we were giving Connie all she ever wanted.
Yes, all but one thing. The one that really mattered. Affection.
Well, I want to thank you and Lieutenant Kling. And, well, now I think I'll start what should have been started years ago.
Sure. But you've got lots of time. Mind if I cut in first?
What do you mean?
You can start tomorrow. Meanwhile, I think I'll play this all the way, huh?
What are you up to now, Holiday?
Practice what you preach, I always say. Connie. Oh, Connie.
Yes, Mr. Holliday?
Everything's all right in there. Nothing to worry about. For you either, Barbara.
Oh, you're wonderful, Mr. Holliday.
Oh, Barbara. Will you excuse Connie and me for a moment?
Huh? Oh, well, sure. Well, I'll be upstairs, Connie.
Connie, about that dance. Got a date for it?
Oh, sure I have.
Connie?
Well, no, I haven't.
Well, look, I'm just a little older than you are, and when I comb my hair and put on a tuxedo, I look like I've been in the stag line a bit too long, but do I get the date?
You? Honest?
We'll make a night of it. First the dance, then, even if it kills me, Smudgy Mary's for a special.
Did you have a good time at the dance, Mr. Holliday?
I was the belle of the ball, Susie. Everybody cut in on me to dance with Connie.
Uh-huh. But you didn't tell me one thing, Mr. Holliday.
What's that, Susie?
What's a Smudgy Mary special?
Oh, well, 3 scoops of chocolate ice cream, 3 strawberry, 2 vanilla.
Oh.
Slice 4 bananas and embalm them in pineapple syrup and lay them out neatly alongside the ice cream.
Pineapple, strawberry.
Let's see now. Oh, pour on 2 ladles of chocolate syrup, a huge gob of whipped cream.
Mr. Holliday,
Wait a minute. Then sprinkle with nuts with a few bits of shells left in and what's the matter, Susie?
I ate an awful big lunch. Good night, Mr. Holliday.
Alan Ladd appears through the courtesy of Paramount Pictures. Watch for him in his latest picture, Saigon. Box 13 is directed by Richard Sandville, with original story by Russell Hughes and original music composed and conducted by Rudy Schrager. The part of Susie is played by Sylvia Picker, and that of Lieutenant Kling by Edmund McDonald. Production is supervised by Vern Karstensen. This is a Mayfair production from Hollywood.